Herald sees this one. Connacht champions pitted against reigning All-Ireland winners, says writer Ian Cooney. Mouth-watering contests rarely eclipse such an all-star cast. But as to who will win, he believes, championship contests between these great rivals rarely rely on current form for guidance. That's why Roscommon stand more than a decent chance of coming through. He does acknowledge that Galway will enter the cauldron the warmest of favourites. But on the other hand, he believes that, as underdogs, Roscommon will relish this challenge. But Galway relish it too. As the Tuam Herald headline over Jim Carney's piece puts it, the defence of Sam starts here. He believes that from a Galway point of view, it is particularly encouraging to the management team that most of their injury problems have cleared up. And he highlights the fact that the figures favour Galway too. It will be their 48th championship meeting, he tells us. The score stands at 25-18 in Galway's favour with 4 draws. All right, then here on the Sunday game, we're going to concentrate on football from here on in. That's the scene at Dr. Hyde Park in Roscommon for our next featured match, the Connacht Football Championship game between Galway and Roscommon. And the Sunday.
Thank you very much, Michael. And you're right, as you look from our position. Match referee is from the St. Paul's Club in Lurgan, County Armagh, Brendan O'Gorman, who refereed the last Munster final between Cork and Kerry last year, and of course was in charge of Roscommon and Galway in Tuam 12 months ago. No changes on either side. Roscommon playing with the wind in the first half. The team manager, John Tobin, told me beforehand that if they won the toss, they'd play with the breeze, take every advantage. Corey Joyce deemed to have foul possession and the free quickly taken. Gary Cox sending it in quickly. Fires Jerry Lohan, and there's a point. 32 seconds played in Roscommon, and the home side are in front. Jerry Lohan always seems to play very well here in Hyde Park. In the Connacht final last year, he scored 2 goals and 2 points against Mayo. Goalkeeper Alan Keane, injured in a challenge match against Donegal out in Connemara in the opening of the Napish new club grounds. And he passed a fitness test last Wednesday to take his place again between the pucks. Paul Noon getting it across as far as Seamus O'Neill. They're remembering Galway, his performance in Tuam, and he started brilliantly. Man of the match against Galway in Tuam 12 months ago. He scored 2 points that day. What a start for the young man who's going to be 20 years of age later this year.
Very confident start indeed for Roscommon, Marty. Great scope from Seamus O'Neill, taking up where he left off last year. Wonderful high raking kick from the middle of the field. Always, the Galway team always bring out the best in him, so he can look forward to a good game today.
It's a very, very strong breeze here in Roscommon town, favouring the home county. Brilliantly caught here by Michael Donlan. Squaring up to Seamus O'Neill. And referee Brendan O'Gorman again maintaining his reputation as a very strict referee. Just noting the name of Seamus O'Neill. Sean O'Dupuy is available here in front of us. Joe Berger gets by the challenge of Seamus O'Neill rather easily. John Fallon just took his eye off it, picked up by Francie Graham. John Hanley playing at left half forward, but already playing a deep defensive role. Giving it low. Gary Fahey just hit off his shoulder and deflected into the path of goalkeeper Alan Keane. Right half back is Declan Meehan, Footballer of the Year 2001. Ja Fallon, expected to test out the calibre of Francie Graham's defensive qualities. Good play by Andrew McPadden. And it's McPadden again. native of North Roscommon, spraying it across to Nigel Deneen. Sending this one in, and Alan Keane had to actually cover it because it was just lobbing in under the crossbar. Kevin Welch has to go back to try and sweep up. Declan Meehan giving it down the centre for the captain of Galway, Corey Joyce. The overlap provided by Joe Bargan. Just lost control of it. Gave the chance to Roscommon to recover. But the referee has given the free against the home side. And there's a chance for Galway to open up their account here.
Yeah, so one of the things we talked about beforehand, Marty, was the space in front of the Galway full forward line. There was too much space that time. And in fact, in the first couple of attacks Galway had, it was notable that both Gary Cox and John Hanley were trying to get back and trying to protect the area in front of the full back line. Didn't happen that time. Space there, free earned, point coming up.
And the captain, Corey Joyce, nominated by the county champions Anna Down to take over the captaincy role again. Scores Galway's opening point. The Battle of the Champions has certainly attracted a large crowd. We estimate 20,000 people packed in to this venue. And certainly around Roscommon town there's a great buzz. You could know the championship is around despite the fact that the summer weather isn't around. Michael Donnelly. The argument continues about his best position. Is it left half forward? Is it midfield? His performance with Kevin Welch this afternoon could well be crucial, as Colm O'Rourke mentioned in our preview. Tonlin gives it long. Roscommon's full back line going to be tested this afternoon. Here's Francie Graham. A hot fooling. Everybody, including Jonathan Dunning. Richie Fahey making himself available. Cha Fallon flicking it out to Sean Ogdepoire. Kevin Welch providing the support. Held by Fergal O'Donnell. And Gary Cox getting involved with Welch. And the referee again very strict and very calm, just telling the player in question, this time Kevin Welch, that he saw what happened. When the teams met here on the 16th of March, it ended 3-11 each. And this man, Corey Joyce, has taken the free against Eric Thompson as we watch the goalkeeper here. This is the angle that Joyce is facing. Scored a goal and a point when coming on as a substitute. This is his second attempt at a free. The first one is successful, this one more difficult. Hits it sweetly and just to the left and wide. And it looks like there's a Roscommon man down. He seemed to injure himself in the process of making sure that that ball didn't go over the bar.
Yes, I'm not sure. I think it's Seamus O'Neill actually may have gone back and bumped into the goal post and is in a bit of trouble at the moment. But going back to that National League game, tremendous game, 3-11 each, and Joyce had a great second half in that match.
Seamus O'Neill from Kilbride just seemed to hurt himself. Dr. Martin Daly, Roscommon doctor. Here it is again as O'Neill ensured. See, he hit his head off the back stanchion.
Yes, that's a very, very sore belt to get. In jumping, he hit the iron stanchion at the back of it, and he probably has given himself quite a cut there on top of the head.
Dr. Martin Daly, doctor to the Roscommon team. His father actually was doctor to the Galway team in the All-Ireland final of 1983. And his grandfather was doctor to the Wexford Hurlers back in the 1950s.
Oh, keeping it in the family.
Here is Stephen Lohan. Gary Cox coming from left half back is Paul Noon. What a run and a finish to match. He's doing exams in Maynooth College at the moment, yesterday and again tomorrow. couldn't attend training yesterday morning here in Hyde Park under John Tobin, but his influence and his role is so important here. Coming from a deep left half-back position, flicking this over the bar. And just confirmation of the health of Seamus O'Neill. He's taking time off. He's going on. David Casey, who performed very well during the league campaign, he's just 20 years of age, is coming on for the moment. So a blood substitution for Roscommon. Sideline ball, Roscommon. Stephen Lohan. Knocked away from the path of John Hanley by Declan Meehan. Tomas Mannion. Hefty challenge on Paul Clancy, but he survives it. Over towards Derek Savage, given a lot of space by Raymond Cox. Savage gets by the challenge of the corner back, jinking past another defender. Difficult angle for Jack Allen, and it's gone wide. The signs are ominous though, Martin, because the word is that Derek Savage has been performing brilliantly, in fact the whole Galway attack, in challenge matches.
Yes, I think he scored 2-3 here in the National League game in March, but that time he was given far too much room by Raymond Cox. But the quality of the ball threaded through by Paul Clancy is what made that opportunity. I'm surprised Derek didn't go and take the opportunity himself.
Breaking ball picked up by Declan Meehan. Paul Clancy able to mix it. Good distribution as well to find his colleague in the half-forward line, Joe Bergen. That's a very poor pass from Bergen. Gives the initiative to Roscommon. Referee has blown his whistle for the foul on Jonathan Dunning, who's quite an impressive performer and had quite a good league campaign as well.
Yes, not a very orthodox full forward, quite light but very lively, and the type of person who will take Gary Fahy around the pitch quite a bit.
Now, we all know that league and championship are different, but he certainly did very well in that league match, scoring 2 goals and a point here at Hyde Park.
Yes, and the goal he got actually in the last minute really pulled it out of the fire for Roscommon. But as I said, he's a very, very lively, a very elusive player, a difficult enough player to pin down, in particular if the quality of the ball is good coming through to him.
This free just inside the 45. Jerry Lohan hits it powerfully, but inaccurately. Interesting tussle so far, very lively. Certainly a step up indeed in terms of quality already, in terms of what we saw last Sunday.
Yes, both teams are just settling into the game nice and quietly. Noticeable that Roscommon are trying to do what Galway normally do, and that is attack from the half-back line, go into the belly of the Galway defence. And Paul Noon did it very effectively there a little while ago. And they'll be trying to continue that, to keep the Galway half-back line retreating and not lining up the field.
Seamus O'Neill returning to duty at centre field. David Casey goes back to his bench. Usually, Alan Keane brings in his cornerback, and Fitzgerald is under pressure. Quick ball inside to Jonathan Dunning. Pressure on the Galway defence. There's a chance here, there's a loose man available. Happens to be right half-back Andy McPadden. So Kieran Fitzgerald, again in the centre of the activity, wins himself a free this time. Not a good choice by the goalkeeper, despite the fact that he's playing against a very strong breeze.
Yes, but they did that quite a lot last year, varying the form of their kick-out, sometimes short, sometimes long. It's normally done to good effect, but there's a little bit of a hesitancy about the Galway defence at the moment. They're just playing their way into the game. They need a little bit longer to get the rhythm, up and running.
John O'Mahony, recognised as a master tactician, and certainly has had a huge influence in making Galway the powerful team that they are now.
Yes, and Roscommon's the one team that he does not like being beaten by.
Michael Donlan. Tomas Mannion. Jaff Allen. Good work by Stephen Lohan. And despite the fact that Roscommon are playing with the breeze, it's interesting to note that John Hanley and Stephen Lohan are playing quite deep inside their own half.
Yes, I think the whole issue there is to protect the full back line, get bodies in space in front of that full back line.
Let's contest today, let's contest!
Declan Meehan surprisingly trying to give it back to Gary Fahey, who in turn brings in his goalkeeper into the action. Michael Donlan giving it outside to Kieran Fitzgerald. Sent in low towards Derek Savage. This time Roscommon win the tussle, and it's Frenzy again. All-star centre half back 2001, but it takes too much out of it, and the referee correctly gives the decision to Galway. It's not a good pass outside from Paul Clancy. Rather poor defending by Roscommon, but the pass again goes astray. Stephen Lohan comes away with it. Jonathan Dunning in front of the ball, in front of the man. Pass across field is again a poor one. Kieran Fitzgerald cuts it out. Kevin Welch brings Joe Bergen. Bergen doing what John Hanley and Stephen Lohan are doing for Roscommon, playing inside his own half of the field. Good pressure by Seamus O'Neill and Fergal O'Donnell. Declan Meehan gives it long. That's the type of ball that Joyce loves. This time Alan Nolan gets a touch, and Alan Nolan is deemed to have fouled the forward going through.
I think a little bit unlucky that time, because it was a 50-50 ball. Alan Nolan and Jazz Fallon both went for it, and okay, Jazz certainly got caught, but I don't think there was any malice involved in that.
This is a player who, of course, is standing in at full back for his first championship encounter. He played left half forward last year. Roscommon defensively had problems in the league, replacing John White and Ian Cox. And there's a yellow card for Alan Nolan. I should say left cornerback Ian Daly. And certainly it's very important today for Roscommon that Alan Nolan and Raymond Cox perform in the full back line.
Yes, they have a very big assignment in trying to pin down Derek Savage and Porrick Joyce, both of whom are playing very good football at the moment.
So Alan Nolan, in your verdict, just unlucky there.
Unlucky that time, 50-50 ball, certainly caught Jab, but there was no malice involved, and I thought unlucky to get the yellow card.
Porrick Joyce with his third attempt from a free. This time glides it more to the right, but it's still going closer, but not close enough. 1 point out of 3 attempts. Large crowd here, basking in the sunshine, but not exactly what you would expect for the 19th of May. It's rather cold here in Roscommon. There's a doubt about goalkeeper Derek Thompson during the week with hamstring difficulties. But he too, like Alan Keane, his counterpart for Galway, has fit to play. Last year's captain, Fergal O'Donnell. Gary Cox, under severe pressure, takes too many steps. Compliments to Sean O'Depoire and Matthew Clancy, putting pressure on the Roscommon half forward.
Yes, every one of the Galway players from 15 back to 2 are tremendous at putting pressure on the player with the ball. Great tacklers, and swarm around the player with the ball.
Chance for Galway here. Matthew Clancy under pressure from Dennis Gavin. Gavin fouls, 3 for Galway.
That's one of the issues actually that I think is worth mentioning, that Roscommon must be disciplined in their tackling. They must get to the ball first, as many of them have been doing, but they mustn't concede frees, because Joyce will punish it.
And he's punished it here. Second point of the day for the full forward. Right corner back Dennis Gavin's name has been certainly noted, but not a yellow card for the cornerback. There's a certain amount of uneasiness in the Roscommon full back line. They're doing okay, but I just feel that they're a little bit nervous.
Well, they are, yeah, but that's understandable given the quality of the opposition there.
Good work by Richie Fahey. who's followed Nigel Dineen to the other corner. Dineen and Lohan have switched. This is John Hanley. Manages to get it outside. Stephen Lohan, Fergal O'Donnell, not known for his point taking, and he hasn't added to his reputation here. Now, with over 18.5 minutes gone, I think Roscommon will be disappointed that they're not dominating a lot more, particularly with the strength of the breeze favouring them.
Yes, they're the livelier of the two teams at the moment, playing with a greater spirit, but they're not kind of registering the scores that the possession deserves.
The two Fahys there, Gary and Richie, seem to have problems. I think it's brother Richie that's in difficulty.
Yes, he was put under a lot of pressure the last time he got the ball from a couple of Roscommon forwards. They tackled him fairly, they dispossessed him, but in the process he picked up a little bit of an arm injury, an elbow injury, which can be quite sore. Yeah, again, so far the midfield dominance of Seamus O'Neill, or for that matter Michael Donlan, hasn't materialised. The game is really kind of bypassing both midfields, and half-backs seem to be more in it on both teams.
The kick out, just dropping inside his own half of the field. Roscommon latching onto it. Andy McPadden fouled again, and it's going to be another free for Roscommon, and Jerry Lohan is going across to take it. Third championship campaign for the corner forward. Nobody really providing an option for him off camera in terms of running off the ball. They're hoping that Lohan will send this over the bar, but again, it sends it wide. It's the third wide of the game for Roscommon, but despite the number of wides, they certainly aren't dominating the game, and I'm sure that John Tobin is rather disappointed with the first 20 minutes, despite the fact that they're in front.
Yes, the last couple of minutes have been particularly wasteful. Both Fergal O'Donnell and Jerry Lohan in that case have had good opportunities. Wind off their shoulders, should be putting those balls over the bar. They're going to need that lead at half-time with the wind in their back, because it's a considerable wind.
Alan Keane opts for Joe Bergen's wing. To Moss Mannion. Back to Sean O'Depere. Corey Joyce comes out from the full forward. Opts for the support play of Joe Bergen. Gary Cox chasing after. Back outside to Chad Fallon. Unable to pick it up, and it's Francie Graham that picks up the loose ball, and John Hanley is available at the far side. The support in the middle is Andy McPadden. Good play by Roscommon. Stephen Lohan. Sort of movement that we expected from them right throughout the league campaign. Nigel Dineen under pressure from Richie Fahey. Stephen Lohan comes in with an illegal challenge, and that's going to be a free for Gary Fahey and Galway.
It's Andy McPadden, who I think has moved over to left half-back, is playing very well at the moment, getting forward as often as he possibly can, causing Paul Clancy quite a lot of trouble on the opposite wing.
Good play, John Hanley. Swinging this one in towards Jerry Lohan. Kieran Fitzgerald trying to stay with him. Needs to go back outside. Intercepted by Tomas Mannion. Good counter-attack by the Galway centre half-back. Won an All-Ireland minor in '86, now 32 years of age. Sneaking this one through. Where's Porrick Joyce? Is Paul Clancy. Sean O'Depere was the only one in around the house at the moment. Matthew Clancy is available, but there's nobody there. Seamus O'Neill is back there helping out his defence. So too is Fergal O'Donnell. And it's Francie Graham. Roscommon now beginning to play with a little bit more confidence. Using different options. but very much employing the short ball game. Gary Cox loading this one in towards Jonathan Dunning. Not a good ball, and Richie Fahey has the situation under control with the support of Declan Meehan. Paul Clancy. Kevin Welsh orchestrating affairs from centre field, almost in the centre back position. Down to Porrick Joyce. Derek Savage gone inside. Joyce holding it up, now floating it in. Matthew Clancy. Derek Savage. Roscommon panicking. Roscommon falling. And Alan Nolan just taking down the Galway attacker, where a little bit more composure would possibly have maybe not solved, but maybe averted this particular free.
Yeah, certainly Roscommon are the more industrious, the more energetic team at the moment, but that little bit of composure is probably necessary. They mustn't concede frees. We've said that a few times, but this is the third opportunity that Porrick Joyce has been given to put the ball over the bar.
11th free of the game to Galway, and the third point for Porrick Joyce.
Yeah, one issue that Galway will be a little bit disappointed with is that in the 24 minutes they've got 3 points, but none of them from play actually, even though they've created a number of good openings.
Level for the first time. And it's taken Galway 24 minutes to accomplish that feat, but remember, Galway are playing against the wind. John Hanley, industrious, working hard. From a left-half forward position, Stephen Lohan floating in a long ball. Alan Keane comes off his line, putting pressure on Nigel Deneen. Richie Fahey fouling the corner forward. That's going to be a free.
Yes, I just wonder about Alan Kane's knee. It's very, very heavily bandaged, and his mobility that time seemed a little bit restricted. He was sluggish enough going for that ball, which he should have won. Just wondering, is the knee bothering him a little bit?
Nigel Deneen gets his first point. Scored 3 goals and 26 points in 7 league encounters over the last few months. Very much a man in form, and that's a valuable point for Roscommon. Alan Keane opts for the middle of the pitch. Tomas Mannion flicking it out as Joe Bergen. Porrick Joyce comes right through the middle as usual. And again, the Galway players seek him out. Alan Nolan trying not to foul. Joyce sending this one wide. Derek Savage just informing his captain that he was available for a short ball. But normally Joyce sends these over.
Yeah, what was admirable about that was the simplicity of it. The ball was broken by Donlan to Bergen. Bergen gave a delightfully weighted pass to Joyce, who missed the opportunity. But the quality of the football there was beautiful in its simplicity.
And John O'Mahony must be reasonably pleased, considering that he is playing against this breeze in this opening half. Just trailing by a point with almost 27.5 minutes played. Alan Nolan charging with the ball, not allowed, and Brendan O'Gorman, the official from Armagh, alert to that particular foul. Lovely flick on, Joe Bergen providing the overlap to Derek Savage, and that's over the bar. Beautiful piece of interplay by Galway. But again, an error by Roscommon, giving the ball away, charging out. Referee alert to the challenge here, but lovely play here by Galway. Enterprising and indeed efficient.
Yes, enterprising, efficient and very quick thinking. Great score by Bergen, first of the scores from play today.
Level for the second time in Hyde Park. Punched away by Sean DePuer. Picked up by Francie Graham. Needs the support outside, and again Jeff Fallon intercepted it. And again it's Andy McPadden that's back there. Member of the under-21 team, and they won the Connacht Championship in '99, but just slow and thinking. But the referee is indicating that the ball was picked up off the ground, and it's going to be a free to Roscommon.
Well, it's either that actually, or he slid in with the foot to get the ball away, which is illegal, technically illegal, and maybe he blew them for that.
Roscommon with possession. Stephen Lohan, Seamus O'Neill, John Hanley having to kick from far out because the options from the full forward line are limited, not making space off the ball. And Jonathan Dunning and Nigel Dineen in particular will have to work a little bit harder. Michael Donlan, Sean DePuer. Donlan and Jonathan Dunning have a little shoulder, a little go off each other off the ball. The referee is giving the free against Corey Joyce. Fergal O'Donnell, John Hanley. Aimed at Jonathan Dunning. Gary Fahey just gets a touch to it. Sideline ball, Roscommon. Again, there are no quick options. They're very slow in their mental approach, I feel, the Roscommon forwards. They're just waiting for the free to be taken.
Yes, the off-the-ball movement wasn't great there, but I think so many of the forwards are working back in a defensive capacity. They probably haven't got the energy when the ball comes forward.
Alan Keane puts the ball on the outside the small rectangle, and the referee has given a free in.
That's a 30-metre free, certainly. Yes. And Alan Keane might have nightmares about that goal down there because he conceded a dreadful goal in the National League game against there. Ball coming in here, ball goes outside and certainly touches it on the ground outside in the bigger rectangle, so therefore it is a 30-metre free. Correct decision.
Free going to be taken by Nigel Dineen. Happy to send us over for a second point from a place ball. Now playing his club football with Castlereagh St. Kevin's, but a native of Tulsk, transferred to Castlereagh 2 years ago now.
Yes, again, it's the second time that Alan came there, and just wondering about his overall mobility because of that knee injury. He was hesitant there, which is not something that is a characteristic of him. He's normally very, very decisive in what he does.
Fine kick out by Keane. Roscommon win possession again. Joe Bergen, unaware, was coming in his direction until he was informed by Gary Fahey. Jonathan Dunning going to be spoken to by the referee, and for a personal foul could well be shown a yellow card. Brendan O'Gorman is in fact going to show a yellow card. So Dunning becomes the second yellow card to be shown in this match. Alan Nolan, the full-back, being the other. Francie Graham, the wrong side of Derek Savage. Back to Kevin Welsh. Confronted by Fergal O'Donnell. Support from Sean DePuer. No sign of Gary Cox, who really should be aware that a player loves to run from a left half-back position. Derek Thompson, quickly off his line. Look at where John Hanley is. He's left half forward, playing in his full-back line. Roscommon are so much aware of the potential weakness in that inner line that they're playing it very defensively, despite the fact, Martin, that they're playing with the wind.
Yes, Gary Cox and John Hanley are foraging very far back into their own defence. There is a danger there in that they're bringing both Sean DePuer and Declan Meehan down with them, but so far neither Sean nor Declan have managed to make any offensive impact on the game. Michael Donlan giving it to his colleague in midfield, Kevin Welsh. Welsh wants it back. Here comes the sprint. Now he has to give it back. There's Jeff Allen.
little bit optimistic considering the strong breeze coming from the town end. 2 extra minutes as the fourth official here, Enda Stenson from Leitrim, displays the sign. 1 point between the teams, Roscommon in front. 1 point hardly enough though, really.
Not enough. It's a disappointingly low-scoring game, actually. Galway haven't really got into the rhythm at all yet, and I don't know really why that is. They don't seem to be getting the ball as cleanly at midfield as they'd like.
Paul Clancy sending that one in. John Hanley is back there again as an extra wing back. The ball is picked off the ground by Alan Nolan, and it's another opportunity for Galway to level the match.
Yes, and again, if they scored this, 4 out of the 5 points will have come as a consequence of Roscommon mistakes in their back line. Technical unforced errors mainly.
Troy Joyce, that's the angle behind the goalposts. Here's the kick, and there's the score. 4 points for the Galway captain. I don't think anybody could really forget his performance in the All-Ireland final in the second half. He seems to be certainly repeating that sort of standard again here in Hyde Park. Very much a leader and a very fine footballer. The only other player to score for Galway in this game so far is left half forward Joe Bergen. Sideline ball Galway at the far side. Sideline ball to be taken by Michael Donlan. Derek Savage touched the ball along the ground, and certainly Brendan O'Gorman is indicating that he's going to be very strict on the pickup. In fact, he told me that in the dressing room. He wanted to make sure that players put the foot under the ball.
That's right. Pickups and overcarrying so far seem to be big things with them.
Moss Mannion. Certainly playing very well at centre-half back. Kevin Welch thought about giving it to Kieran Fitzgerald. Uses Matthew Clancy instead. Francie Graham coming in to challenge Padraig Joyce. Derek Savage latching onto it, floating this one in and over the bar. And on March 16th in the league encounter, Derek Savage scored 2 goals and 3 points. He's a man very much in terms of form at his peak at the moment, and he did very well here to get by the challenge of Raymond Cox, and from a difficult enough angle floated over the bar.
Yes, I think we can expect more of that in the second half. Again, if the ball is coming through to him, he's absolutely lethal. That was a great score of his wrong side.
Galway leading for the first time. Just as the half-time whistle approaches, Kevin Welch giving it to Michael Donlan. One of these penetrating runs. Passing by Francie Graham, referee wisely allowing him to continue. There's a chance here for Padraig Joyce to goal. He's brought down inside, and the ball is in the net, but the referee has blown for a penalty. What an exciting run by Michael Donlan. Set up initially by Kevin Welch. Set on his run, and a wonderful piece of interplay by the All-Ireland champions.
Yes, great catch by Walsh, an instant pass to Michael Donlan, penetrated the defence, got the hold, gave a lovely ball into Padraig Joyce, who was taken down, and this will be a perfect end to the half for Galway if they score this.
Brendan O'Gorman is warning the goalkeeper. I think Derry Thompson is pleading innocence, but I would imagine a yellow card is going to be shown here for a personal foul, which is in fact correct by the referee. There's a yellow. 3 yellow cards for Roscommon. Now, psychologically, this is a crucial moment. We're into injury time. Half-time whistle, I'm sure, will blow the minute this kick is taken. It's Derek Savage facing Derek Thompson. Goalkeeper who plays his club football with the Garda in Dublin. Facing Cartoon Shamrocks, Derek Savage. If Thompson saves or Savage misses, it's a huge boost to the home county. The All-Ireland champions get the goal. Simplicity in motion. Galway fans rejoice. And surely now they go in at half-time, leading. Just watch this. So simple. This is the incident that led to the penalty. Derek Savage bringing down Pádraig Joyce. Referee is correct. It had to be a penalty for Galway. Well, certainly an exciting end to the first half. At times in the beginning it looked very well. Sometimes the passes were going astray, but the wind a major factor. But Derek Savage, the top scorer in this opening half, with a goal and a point. And certainly the signs are ominous for Roscommon. They will, however, face the breeze against the All-Ireland champions in the second half. Galway referee Brendan O'Gorman about to start the second half. Galway playing with wind advantage, leading by 4 points. The signs are ominous indeed for the home side, but that's when the Roscommon character and mettle is tested. And already a little bit of off-the-ball confrontation going on between Francie Grehan and Ja Fallon. No positional switches as the second half starts. Sean O'Dupere picking up the loose ball. Down towards Paul Clancy. Declan Meehan. Up towards Pádraig Joyce. This is a great start for Galway. His first from play. Galway's captain leading by example. And the visitors now have a 5-point advantage.
Again, a lovely pass that time from Declan Meehan to Pádraig Joyce. Took it well, got on his trusted left foot and kicked it over the barrel. Simple, but very effective.
Derek Thompson with the kick out. Great catch. Seamus O'Neill. Gary Cox. Swinging it over towards this corner. John Hanley. But Declan Meehan. Beating both Hanley and Dineen to the ball. Ja Fallon. Again, incorporating Pádraig Joyce into the attack. Over towards Matthew Clancy. Spot of bother. Pádraig Joyce seems to be down on the ground. The referee continues on play. There seemed to be an after the ball was delivered challenge. We'll have to check that as Galway continue on with Kieran Fitzgerald in control. Sean Dupere, Michael Donlan, Declan Meehan coming from right half back. Galway playing with 14 players. This is Ja Fallon, knocked out of his grasp by Francie Grehan. Alan Nolan under severe pressure. Galway captain still down, and this is the first opportunity that the referee has to allow Pádraig Joyce to get some medical attention. The linesman this side seems to be waving his flag. It's Seamus McCormack from Meath, and Brendan O'Gorman is coming across. There's a suspicion that Francie Grehan was involved, and let's just see what the referee from Lurgan in County Armagh will do.
Yeah, here's the ball now. He gives the ball there, but yes, Francie Grehan came through and caught him with the elbow right in the mouth.
Roscommon captain is going to be booked by the referee at least. It depends on what his linesman, Seamus McCormack, informed the man in charge. It looks like a yellow. 4 yellow cards for Roscommon in this game. And they're all coming down the middle. Goalkeeper, full-back, centre-back and full forward.
Yes, and worryingly from a Galway point of view, Pádraig Joyce is still stretched on the ground, so there must be some... Yes, again, here's Pádraig Joyce on his left foot, gives the ball. Yes, Francie comes in and catches him all right with his left elbow, on the jaw and the mouth. So maybe there's a little bit of dental damage done. That's only speculation, but he's been down the ground for quite a while.
Captain getting some medical attention from Dr. Donald Kelly from Monavea. And John O'Mahony, as always, with the stopwatch. checking how much time will be added on. Very meticulous, very professional. Here's Francie Graham. And 4 Galway players converging him, letting him know that Galway are here. Francie survives the challenge. Gives it over to the far side. Seamus O'Neill winning possession. Roscommon maintaining possession, but Gary Cox running into a wall of maroon and white. Overdid it. It's going to be a free to Galway. 1 against 1 here. Matthew Clancy judged it nicely. Derek Savage is outside him. Uses Declan Meehan. Look where the right half back is. Matthew Clancy has the courage to try and get through the Roscommon cover, but he scooped it off the ground, so it's going to be a free out to Roscommon.
Yeah, surprisingly that time there was very little off the ball movement for the Galway forwards. They were caught up in a little bind over on the far side of the field, but nobody was making a run on the opposite wing that would have given Matthew Clancy something to shoot the ball at.
Picked up again by Francie Graham, trying to drive his team from the centre half back position. Flicking it over as Nigel Deneen. Richie Fahey is his marker, giving it back outside to Gary Cox. Available is Stephen Lohan, floating this one in. Alan Keane watches and gathers. Tomas Mannion to Joe Bergen, driving it down the sideline. Again, Francie Graham comes across to gather. Missed the ball because he was watching Pádraig Joyce. This is a good ball by Joyce. Look at the corner back here in Fitzgerald. Matthew Clancy facing Thompson. Oh, a brilliant save by the goalkeeper. Derek Thompson is called upon to produce a smashing save, and he's hoping that this will inspire his colleagues. A defence-splitting move by Galway. Clancy drove it hard and low, and Thompson responded. Great save by the keeper.
Yeah, that's the first time we've actually seen Galway in full flight. A lovely bit of interplay again between Jam and Pádraig Joyce, giving the ball to the overlapping Fitzgerald, and a very good attempt by Matthew Clancy, but a great save, must be said, by Derek Thompson.
Double substitution for Roscommon on its way. Not yet, as Michael Donlan takes this 45. Hits it sweetly over the bar. 4 players from Galway have now scored. Joe Bergen, Pádraig Joyce, Derek Savage, and now 1 Michael Donlan. It looks like Jerry Lohan is going to make way. He's one of the players that's being replaced, and Conor Kennelly and Frankie Dolan coming on for Roscommon. John Hanley being the other player that has been replaced. So 12 and 15 are gone, 21 and 23 are on. John Tobin and his fellow selectors acknowledging that from an attack point of view they need a little bit more creativity, a little bit more imagination and penetration. Will Dolan and Conor Kennelly provide it? Here's Kennelly. Good play by Joe Bergen. Hefty challenge on the Galway man, and Brendan O'Gorman, the referee, spotting the ball. Ja Fallon. Pádraig Joyce again, demonstrating his leadership by always being available. Flicking this one in. Matthew Clancy, this time deflected. And Roscommon. It's a real test of character for the Connacht champions. Ball given away, however, by Andy McFadden. It's his first mistake. His first half performance was quite impressive. A push by left corner back Raymond Cox. This is going to be a free for goal.
Yes, on the basis of what we've seen over the first 8 minutes or so, Galway certainly have gone up a gear or two, and the coordination among the players, the understanding of each other's play is very, very evident. But the 2 substitutions that Roscommon have brought in, Conor Kennelly and Frankie Dolan, certainly I think will improve the forward line. Both have very, very good records as forwards, and you know, John Tobin will be certainly hoping for a big return from them.
This is Pádraig Joyce. His now familiar pose that we're all accustomed to. Sending this over the bar. Half a dozen points for the captain. And Galway stretch their lead. The kick out quickly taken by Derek Thompson. Dennis Gavin drop kicks it up as Jonathan Dunning. I just feel that Roscommon, from an attack perspective, has certainly lost their shape. Strategically, there doesn't seem to be any sort of a plan. Meanwhile, Galway's attacking exploits continue. Sean DePuer, Matthew Clancy shows for it well. Gets there ahead of Dennis Gavin. Clancy battles hard, needs to get it back outside. Plenty of Roscommon defenders. Galway win it back. I'm not too sure if it was legal, but referee has blown his whistle, and again Pádraig Joyce seems to be in the wars. And the referee seemed to be a little bit slow in his actions here. So the referee has apparently sorted matters out. He has his book out. Let's see what he's going to do here. This is Pádraig Joyce with possession. Alan Nolan. There seemed to be a boot there by Francie Graham.
Oh yeah, that's very clearly...
And that's a sending off offence.
Yeah, very clearly he stamped into him that time. That's a clear sending off offence, and it's something I don't think the referee picked up on. That's a nasty foul,
yes,
actually.
It is a nasty foul. And unacceptable.
Yes,
and
very
again,
much so.
it's the second challenge again on Pádraig Joyce. Jerry Lohan is the player that's going off, and confirmation that Frankie Dolan is on. They were just a few moments ago just confirming that that's the story. The referee is a very meticulous official, and I'm sure he'll be disappointed that he missed what Francie Graham did on Pádraig Joyce. Seamus O'Neill. Francie Graham kicking it a bit wildly, but there's no Roscommon man. Declan Meehan changing the tactics here, giving it long. Derek Savage, Raymond Cox, and again Francie Graham. Jar Fallon hitting him a shoulder. Referee says it's a free to Roscommon. Andy McPadden has the vision to see Seamus O'Neill available. Tomas Mannion gone across to take him up. And again, the running off the ball by Roscommon is very poor, inept at this level.
Yes, but the defending actually by Galway is tremendous there. The number of bodies they're getting back between the Roscommon players and the ball.
Here they come again. There's a chance here for Stephen Lohan. And that is curling to the right and wide. Fergal O'Donnell is going to be replaced apparently, and coming on is David Casey, who we saw earlier. He was a blood substitution in the first half for Seamus O'Neill. And certainly David Casey from Boyle in County Roscommon, just 20 years of age. It looks like Alan Kearns is coming on for Galway. Casey will play at midfield for Roscommon, and Alan Kearns will probably take a forward position. It looks like Derek Savage. Derek Savage is injured, actually. There's Fergal O'Donnell, last year's captain, going off. Change of midfield. So David Casey is now at midfield with Seamus O'Neill.
Yes, Casey is a player actually who played through the National League, a very good midfielder, probably a little bit inexperienced maybe to start in the championship game, but you can expect a honest to God wholehearted performance from him.
Conor Kennelly spraying that ball over to the far corner where Nigel Dineen had been sucked into the middle, so picked up by Richie Fahey under no pressure. Finds Declan Meehan, who seems to be in every part of the pitch. Right half back is now making a great run off the ball for Jar Fallon. Again, Joyce is used onto the right boot, and there's a late challenge there. The referee allows play to continue and gives a free to Roscommon as Alan Kern seemed to trip Raymond Cox.
It's worryingly from a Roscommon point of view, anytime they attack, there's a namelessness about their attack. There's no method to it, and they're kicking the ball into empty spaces, and a Galway back is gobbling it up. Their coordination is non-existent, actually, and they haven't enough players up front.
They certainly seem to have lost their shape. They're now playing with just two players up front, Frankie Dolan and Nigel Dineen. Michael Donlan. Galway continue to dominate the midfield area. Up towards Alan Kearns. Raymond Cox trying to hold on to the elusive corner forward from Claren Bridge. An effort by Paul Clancy is well wide. Derek Savage picked up an injury there in his thigh, possibly another hamstring victim. And Derek Savage gone off, and Alan Kearns on. Just confirmation it is in fact a hamstring that's gone. Conor Kennelly. Frankie Dolan, there's a chance here, but Joe Bergen is back helping out his defence. Richie Fahey gives it plenty of air, gathered by Andy McPadden, who's been one of the few really impressive players for Roscommon. Gary Cox, well read by Michael Donlan, well won by Nigel Dineen. Flicking it inside, there's Gary Cox, shown the player, hits him with his shoulder. This is an easy ball, at least it should be, but it's not! Keane has dropped it, and Roscommon have a lifeline. Unexpected, not through any great creativity, but Paul Noon, the left half back, accepts the gift from the keeper, and Roscommon are back in the game. 51 minutes played, and Galway just have a match on their hands, thanks to their own goalkeeper, who again was a bit lax. He dropped one of these in the first half. He dropped it in the second half, and in the second half he was punished. Now the home side are behind the boys in yellow and blue. Conor Kennelly adding a bit of pace to Jonathan Dunning. Dunning doing well. The flick outside was unexpected. Towards Nigel Dineen. Dunning again, employed. Nobody around, nobody at all around, and this is the criticism I would have of Roscommon today. No great running off the ball into space. The challenge was late on the Roscommon man, and the referee has blown his whistle.
It wouldn't surprise me actually in this case if he's giving the free against Seamus O'Neill, because I think it was Seamus O'Neill actually who committed the foul that time.
John Tobin making changes to his tack. John O'Mahony still in a commanding position despite that gift of a goal to John Tobin's boys. Joe Bergen is the player that's down injured for Galway. Let's just have another look at that goal.
Okay, this time again, Gary Cox puts the ball in, harmless ball, wasteful ball, but Alan Kearns gifts it to, Alan Keane gifts it in this case to
Paul Noon.
Paul Noon, who was coming in. That's the third mistake actually he's made during the game, poor handling. And a game that Galway were coasting through, where there was no danger to them, they've now given a lifeline for Roscommon, and it's quite likely that they can build on that.
And perhaps that knee is still a problem for Alan Keane, and perhaps maybe Galway made a mistake in playing the goalkeeper, because usually he deals with all these balls rather easily. Yellow card for Seamus O'Neill. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Roscommon players.
It mightn't necessarily be the injury, but the fact that he hasn't been able to practice or train enough, and his sharpness just isn't there maybe at the moment. But that'll come in time if they continue with the championship.
Sean Dupuy. Free to Galway. Declan Meehan. Jar Fallon. Again he looks for Porrick Joyce. And again the captain makes the diagonal run. And that's the difference between Galway and Roscommon forwards. Galway always seem to have options. A dangerous ball! And the ball is over the line. Alan Kearns seems to have gotten the touch, and the green flag is raised. Roscommon defenders are protesting. The kick out is taken, but that is incorrect. Let's just see this again. I think Brendan O'Gorman is telling the goalkeeper that it is in fact a goal. Yes, the green flag is raised.
Yes, he's telling the umpire to raise the flag actually. The umpire didn't do it that time. But again, the cross that came over, yes indeed, the ball is well crossed the line. Very, very well taken by Alan Kearns that time. A great cross from Porrick Joyce. There it is. And Alan Kearns came in, and certainly the ball is well and truly over the line.
But was he inside the small rectangle before the ball there, Mark?
We'd have to get another look at it to kind of to confirm that.
Michael Donlan, great catch. Joe Bargan, Paul Clancy, great movement again off the ball by Galway, and indeed with the ball. Clancy needs the support of Porrick Joyce. Ball into the centre for Jar Fallon. Look at where the cornerback is, and the cornerback will raise a flag. Kieran Fitzgerald plays his club football with Corofin. Normally plays at right corner back for Galway, centre back sometimes for his club, but never up front. And John O'Mahony must be well pleased with the way his champions have responded to the challenge put up by Roscommon. Jar Fallon, Matthew Clancy, Declan Meehan. What a great footballer this young player from Caltray is. Inside is Matthew Clancy. There's a chance of another goal, and it's across the face of the goal. But they're a joy to watch once they step up a gear.
Absolutely delightful to watch. Great ball from Porrick Joyce. Wonderful vision. Great running off the ball by Matthew Clancy. And again, under a bit of pressure, puts the ball wide. But they're flowing at the moment. There's that fluency that you had last year. Look at that for off the ball running by Matthew. Opportunities been given to him. Bad finish. Be disappointed with that. But they're delightful to watch at the moment. And it's easy to see why they've got into, why they have a double score lead.
And Declan Meehan's role is so important. Those brilliant runs from right half back. Joe Bergen.
Yes, but one guy at the moment that is actually orchestrating a lot of it is Jarlath Fallon. Some of his fist passing is showing great vision and accuracy. He's bringing others into it. He might not be scoring, but he's bringing others into the game.
There's Jar Fallon. Michael Donlan going to take the free. As John Tobin again tries to reorganise his side, he must be a little bit concerned that everything he's tried so far hasn't worked, except the introduction of Conor Kennelly. Back outside to Paul Clancy. On the turn will occur. It will. Clancy joins the list of Galway scorers. Porrick Joyce trying to flick it inside to Sean Dupuy. Intercepted well, however, this time by Dennis Gavin. Nigel Deneen. Bringing David Casey into the picture. Deneen picks up the challenge again. Jonathan Dunning. Back outside to Frankie Dolan. Chance of a point, and it's taken. Frankie Dolan gets on the score sheet and gives Roscommon supporters just something to cheer about. Again, well-worked play, but they have to work so hard to register anything.
Yes, and that's only their second point of the second half, which again is an indication of how superior Galway have been.
Alan Keane aims at Kevin Welsh. Conor Kennelly. That's going to be a Roscommon ball. Again, no great options available to the player with possession. Gary Cox finally makes a dash. Paul Noon, goal scorer, coming along the end line. Is he pushed over the end line? He is. The referee is going to give a free on the 13-metre line to Roscommon. But it says a lot for the Roscommon attack that Paul Noon is the one that's causing more problems than anybody else, and he's the left half back.
Yes, I think the strategy they employed today of actually, bringing the two wing half forwards into a defensive role actually has starved the inside forwards of support whenever the ball goes up.
Frankie Dolan gets his second point. Roscommon stay in touch, but they have a huge mountain to climb at the moment. Look at that scoreboard, 2-11, 1-7. 10 minutes left.
10 minutes left, but remember last year they came back from the dead against Mayo in the championship, so who knows, still plenty of time left.
Tommy Joyce, the only one of the All-Ireland starting 15 that didn't start today. He's going to be coming on, I believe, from Matthew Clancy, the corner forward. Kieran Fitzgerald under pressure from Nigel Deneen, fouled by the Roscommon man. Paul Clancy going to take it. David Casey. Gary Cox. Working hard. Flicking this one in. Jonathan Dunning cleverly knocking it back to David Casey. And that's a great effort by Casey. Alan Keane comes off his line. Gathering safely. Joe Bergen is back there. Paul Clancy now. Sending it down the wing. Clancy Graham gets there ahead of Fallon, but it's Fallon that has the ball. Clancy Graham sticks to his task admirably. Paul Clancy. It's going to be a foul. Full frontal charge on the wing forward from Mike Cullen. Again, Pádraig Joyce, always first to the ball, always in front of his marker. Switching play. Oh, this is going to be a classic piece. Alan Kearns gets his second goal. Plays his club football with Salthill, Knocknacarra. The dual star who I believe will rejoin the Galway hurling panel this week. And I think Noel Lane will be glad to see that the dual star is in great scoring form. Look at this, it's a wonderful piece of action. It's worthy of All-Ireland champions.
Well, certainly any coach who wants to show youngsters how to play football, please take that little piece out and show it again and again and again. It's so simple, it's so accurate, it's delightful.
I honestly don't think we're going to see better in the All-Ireland series.
Oh, there's two beautiful kick passes there. The assist there to Alan Cairns was of the highest quality by Declan Meehan. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful pass, as was the first pass over to Declan from Pádraig Joyce.
Matthew Clancy is the player that's going off for Galway, and he has played very well, and it gives Tommy Joyce a chance to show what he's capable of. It shows the calibre and the depth of talent in this Galway. And John O'Mahony, I think, is right to congratulate his corner forward. And Niall O'Donoghue is on for Stephen Lohan as well, I believe. This is Conor Kennelly. Roscommon surely facing defeat now in the face. Passing signals going astray. Kevin Welsh, Kieran Fitzgerald, Tommy Joyce. Every pass greeted with a cheer. I think I remember Meath fans doing this to Kerry last year. Porrick Joyce sneaking it through. Derek Thompson has to come off his line to get there ahead of Alan Kearns. But it was worth travelling miles to see that last Galway goal. Crossfield ball, flicked on kick pass, pass inside with the fist, and a finish that was just sublime. David Casey. He's making an impression since introduced, but his passing is a bit weak. Tommy Joyce. There's trouble again for Roscommon. Michael Donlan giving it inside, but the referee has blown his whistle for taking too many steps. Out of the corner of his eye, I think Michael Donlan knew that a colleague was coming forward and just took a little bit too much out of it. Dennis Gavin floating it in long, which really doesn't suit the Roscommon forwards. And there's plenty of Galway defenders there. Tomas Mannion, he wasn't happy with the challenge from the Roscommon player. Beautifully run again, Alan Kearns. Difficult angle, the referee hadn't blown his whistle, and the kick out is to Derek Thompson. And Alan Kearns can take a breather, because at this stage, with just 5 minutes left, I know Martin Kearney thought a while ago the Roscommon could come back, but I really don't think they're going to come back from this one.
No, certainly not today.
Gary Cox sending it in low again towards Niall O'Donoghue. Niall was the player who challenged Tomas Mannion a moment ago, that Mannion didn't like the challenge. Niall O'Donoghue is fouled. Former Dublin footballer, now winning himself a free for Roscommon.
Probably there's been an exhibition of sorts in the second half, and Galway have shown the full repertoire of skills, the short game, the long game. But I think what is most consistent for me is the quality of their kick passing. It's been absolutely first rate.
The referee is going to hold play again. Looks like Tomas Mannion, I think, that's in trouble again. Centre half back. Involved with Connacht rugby as well. Hard-working player all his life. He scored 2 goals. I mentioned the 86 minor All-Ireland. He scored 2 goals that day. As we look at a very, well, what can you say, a very worried Roscommon team. John Tobin has brought this team to a Connacht championship, but I think the Tuam native will be impressed with his own county, but bitterly disappointed with the performance of his adopted county.
Yes, disappointed and dejected about it, because certainly that wouldn't have been part of the script today. Yeah, in this case here, okay, the short ball is given. Okay, I think Tomas Mannion simply just falls. He seems to go over on his ankle.
It may have been a challenge that he got earlier from Niall O'Donoghue, but anyway, thankfully he's back in the thick of the action as Roscommon go into another attack. And again, it's Paul Noon that's at the end of moves. Here's Tomas. And Tomas Mannion didn't like the challenge from Paul Noon and informed him of that opinion. Well won by Paul Clancy. Again, Porrick Joyce. He's a wonderful orchestrator of this Galway attack. Holding off, waiting for Jah Fallon to get into a good scoring position. Floating this one in, and Derek Thompson saves. Gary Cox. Andy McPadden. Seems to be a foot block by Porrick Joyce. And that's going to be taken by Roscommon. Referee says play on. Because at this stage it matters very little, I feel, with just 2 minutes left. A very impressive second half performance by the All-Ireland champions. Niall O'Donoghue floating this one in. Nigel Dineen, Tomas Mannion. Well, himself and Kevin Welch, there were doubts, you know, over the last couple of weeks. They're both 32 years of age. Would they be able for the championship? The answer is very affirmative. They've been outstanding, the two of them. And they're very crucial because they man centre-back and midfield positions.
Yes, but the acquired understanding of each other's play is what impresses me most. Kevin Walsh can play on that team. Tomas Mannion can play on that team because they understand what to do when they get the ball, and there are great young legs around them who'll do the running for them. But their experience, their guile is so important also to the whole tenor of that team. But we've seen a repertoire of skills today in the second half that is worth coming along with.
Brendan O'Gorman has informed his linesman Seamus McCormick that there's going to be 4 extra minutes. This is a ball inside towards Nigel Dineen. Gary Fahy fouling the corner forward. Roscommon trying to engineer a goal here, but Paul Noon comes for his Niall O'Donoghue. Chance here of a shot. Seamus O'Neill sends it wide.
Yes, the other issue actually in general, here's a chance by Seamus O'Neill on his left foot, has a blast, fair play to him, but it's well wide. But the other issue too, the subs they bring in can seamlessly fit into the overall pattern of things. And that's very encouraging from John O'Mahony's point of view.
Ja Fallon again trying to get Porrick Joyce, but it sliced off his boot. Well, the picture tells the story. Roscommon fans disgruntled and disappointment etched on their faces as they leave Hyde Park on a day when really their side just didn't perform, beaten by a superior side, a quality side that you feel could be heading towards Croke Park in September.
Well, there's one great motivating thing for them. No team since, I think, the All-Ireland in 1989 and 1990 has put 2 in a row. And Galway certainly have the talent. That hunger is there for the entire summer. I certainly think they're good enough to beat any team in the country on the way they're playing today.
Kieran Fitzgerald knocks that down. Sean DePuere sets up Michael Donlan. Paul Clancy winning good possession out here on the right wing. Porrick Joyce. He has 2 options. One of them is the left half back. Oh, off the post and over the bar. Sean DePuere gets into the action. That's 2 defenders. Kieran Fitzgerald, the cornerback, scored earlier. Sean DePuere represents the half-back line in the scoring prowess this afternoon. Great run again by the half-back. Declan Meehan has really impressed me, but so too has Sean DePuere. Good play. The question now is not just about the quality of Galway, but can Roscommon now respond in the All-Ireland qualifiers, because no doubt that's where they're heading for. Kevin Welch flicking it inside. Francie Graham just intercepting ahead of Paul Clancy. Derek Thompson has to sweep up behind. Gary Cox to Seamus O'Neill. Conor Kennelly getting by the challenge of Joe Bergen. It's a great run by Kennelly. Still Kennelly. Needs support outside now. Nobody there. Good defending by Galway. They concede a 45.
Yeah, just going back to what you were mentioning about Roscommon, I think the June weekend they're going to go into the qualifiers, and there's a huge amount of repair work to be done on morale more than anything else. There's still a lot of talent in the team, but today they just met a very, very, very impressive unit who, in the second half, went up a gear and gave a delightful display of skill and scoring and movement and you name it.
Roscommon seeking another point here through the boot of Frankie Dolan, fails to find the target. Gary Cox needs some medical attention from Dr. Daly, but certainly Gary Cox has worked very hard, and you can see why even today, despite Roscommon's inept performance, why he was gaining first team selection. It looks like Galway are making further substitutions. They're bringing in Micheál Comer and Tomás Meehan, but we continue on with the action. Sideline ball. Looks like Tomás Meehan is coming on for Richie Fahey. Tomás, of course, was corner back in the All-Ireland winning team in '98. And Micheál Comer is coming on for Kieran Fitzgerald. So a change in the Galway full back line. With just 1 minute to go, possibly even less. Richie Fahey, again congratulated by John O'Mahony. He's over at the far side. Roscommon captain waits to deliver this sideline ball. Micheál Comer. That substitution now being completed, and Kieran Fitzgerald can afford a smile. A point scorer in this Connacht Championship quarter-final. Of course, Galway will face Mayo in McHale Park in 2 weeks' time.
That's right, in 2 weeks' time, and certainly that's a game that I know Mayo are waiting for and will really look forward to. But Galway on this form are going to be very difficult to beat.
Roscommon trying to seek a goal here. They have a chance with Nigel Dineen. The referee will blow a penalty here surely, and he's giving a penalty to Roscommon. So a chance for respectability, and that's all it is.
Well, that's about all it is actually, but to be fair to Nigel Dineen, he's been the one player in their forward line that has tried hard today, but again he was a lone ranger up there. He had very little support.
Chance here. Going to take it is Frankie Dolan. Alan Keane will stand on the Galway line. Here's Dolan, and he sends it over the bar. It's a mirror image of the story, really.
Yeah.
It just isn't Roscommon's day.
It sums up their day actually.
The kick out is quickly taken, and Roscommon's misery is finally ended. They trailed by just 4 points at half-time, but in the end, Alan Kern's introduction was crucial. 2 goals and a point, and certainly the Galway third goal was just, well, it was copybook stuff. It was a joy to watch. The All-Ireland champions beat the Connacht champions in Hyde Park. Beware the rest of Ireland. Galway are fully intended to retain their All-Ireland title. Full-time score, Galway 3-12, Roscommon 1-8.
Joe Kiernan's first championship side features 2 newcomers.